terrible plan. We are here to your omission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved throne. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt. Yeah.
I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well then you know I got it. Then you know I got it.
Nobody got it like.
They can try, but can't do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
But to be honest, I don't mind, cause I don't feel the same way I used to do. Every time I see you, I know the truth. Cause baby, every fucking time you've played me, you should know that I don't give a single fuck about you and your words. All the times you lied to me, I took notes. I don't know what to say. I thought you loved me, but you ran away. I've been living in the shadows for a while. Demons calling me from the afterlife. Dark doesn't faze me anymore. I can see my tears into gold. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, no, I don't care. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, I said, cause baby, every fucking time you've played me, you should know that I don't give a single fuck about you and your words. All the times you lied to me, I took notes. I don't know what to say. I thought you loved me, but you ran. I know people come and go away. Sun is low, that's my time to shine again. Cause baby, every fucking time you play me, you should know that I don't.
You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Follow me around, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Donis, why you sad? I said I just need to think. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need to your phone. Can't hate it bad. Someone said it's sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times. Yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my.
yeah. Ay, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry, it's a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders, ayy. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping is basic, skipping is classic. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we countin' them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this, don't like surprises. I cause a crisis, man, I'm a scientist. With the music I spice things, up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my nigga from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you'll have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard.
Don't you know I'm a bad little mama? I got moves like Madonna. Don't tell me cause I move when I'm gonna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna. Don't you see I'm a winner, I'm a queen. I cause no scene if you work with me. Don't stop me cause I fight when I wanna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. But your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone. 'Cause I'm just like you. We are fearless.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, why you leaving me? You know you can't leave me now. Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again. You come and you go, you take me high, you take me low, but I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Could he fill a hole inside me? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I know my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah, why you leaving me? Put me on my misery.
Yeah, yeah. Black sheep, black sheep, black sheep, black sheep. I don't even write no more, man.
Tell him, yo,
God,
can't you come
yeah.
over?
On my contract commando, pulling up with clips extendo. There's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Yo, think I might have found my tempo. Posted up in my tempo. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Lose it. Get substituted. You're not recruited, cause you're too damn scared to use it. The truth is, you're useless. What? I'm ruthless. Yeah, I've proved this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. What? You're so dumb to choose this. Yeah. Ain't going outside, I make it work. I'm in my bag, that's every purse on my back. Is that your girl? She got it. She make it twerk. And why you mad? I got here first. You say you rap, you got a verse. I say that's whack, you probably hurt. Back to the lab, you gotta search. On my contract commando, pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. No, think I might have found my tempo. Posted up in my tempo. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag,
Why these boys so stupid? Counting me out now, I'm counting my money. I'm probably gon' cop me a new wrist. Y'all gon' think I'm a nuisance. New sound, know me, who this? Yep, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we're the coolest. LSA say we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me. The way I be stacking my chips, stack it up. Probably the bank gon' sue me. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid, cause your mans can't fool me.
On my country commando, pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
me get one, so I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you not one. You ain't sacrificed, nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. And you know the flow, got 'em coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aight.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GGBet, and ESEA.
Hello everybody and welcome to ViCi Gaming vs. Beyond. We are here for game number 1 of the day. It's very early in the morning, but myself, what is going on here? Dean, probably not for you, because I presume this is an...
No,
it is?
Clock in the top right-hand corner.
No, Mayrolls is tilted.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Tilted and the clock is in the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Oh, look, if you go to third person,
before.
You can see that he's using finger guns for this round. Fair play. Respect the play.
He might be one of the people that is having a bit of an issue right now. Of course, we do have a pause coming in. One player on 110 ping. Let's have a check at it. Yeah, it is Mayrolls. So he unfortunately is having some VPN issues right now.
When the ping's high enough, you get tilted. Yeah. Quite literally in Mayrolls' case.
Auto tilt.
But yeah, we'll talk a little bit first about why we're here. We're here to see ViCi versus Beyond. This is an upper bracket match. Both teams winning out their games yesterday. It was fun to watch, and now they get to compete to go on a little bit further. Loser will go down and face off against BTRG, which will also be covered on this stream a little bit later. And of course, introduce those of us that will be bringing you the match. My name is Mitch. Alongside myself will be the beautiful Dean. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Bit of Asian CS. It's always good crack, as we say here in Ireland. But luckily, we've actually got more competitive maps, more interesting maps to look at. We're not looking at Dust 2s. We're not looking at Mirage. This time, rocking in with Train as a first map. It'll be a little bit of fun. Then onto Inferno. And then we will, of course, finish on Mirage. But you expect that.
Yeah, I mean, we had Train come out in both series yesterday as the decider, but obviously we didn't get to reach that point. We ended up having two pretty one-sided games, yet Beyond obviously being able to win their opening match against Lucid Dream. And we didn't get to catch the other matchup rather, which was ViCi taking on Paper Rex, and that one was the one that we actually did end up seeing a map being taken by Paper Rex in the first one when they were able to actually get the victory, which was here on Train. That's something that we do have to note, of course, because that can certainly give some hope for Beyond when you look at the fact that Paper Rex were able to take down ViCi here on Train, and then they looked abysmal for the rest of the night. Let's be real.
Well, I'll give you that. So, coming into today, it's pretty solid to favor ViCi, I think, but we saw a lot of positives for Beyond. QQ was playing absolutely fantastic yesterday, alongside Mayrolls, the two players that we had highlighted towards the start of the day as the ones to watch. So if you're not familiar with these teams and you're up at this hour of the morning to watch them, fair play. Those would be the players over on the T side I'd keep an eye on. For ViCi, I mean, pretty much this whole team is just dominant as hell. For Beyond, there's chances there, but they've got to turn up on 100% or they won't have a chance of taking this.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping we're going to get them showing up today. As you said, we definitely had moments from quite a few of those boys, but we never really got to see the opportunity for them to actually be tested, just because they did make a a pretty swift victory over Lucid Dream. I'm seeing the admin looking to see if there's any ETAs about when the issue will be resolved, and Olivia has said that the final player is coming back. Mayral, so hopefully he shouldn't be too much longer.
Yeah, I see in the admin chat there's just a second or two left before we get back into
Perfect.
it. Tech pause ended about a minute
They're
ago.
even ahead of me looking at the Discord.
Hey,
It's too smart for me.
big brain. It's big brain time. And just to make sure we didn't need to throw in some music for these lovely folks, but we will be jumping in just a minute. So ViCi and Beyond, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crack. I'm just hoping that we do see Beyond on good form. I don't want to see another stomp out 2-0. For ViCi, is definitely a possibility. The positive is they were slow to warm up yesterday, as you were saying, right? So maybe.
Okay, hang on though. The last time that these two teams played was just over a month ago, and it was on train, and it went 16-8 to ViCi.
Yeah.
So that's a little worrying.
Mhm.
But as you kind of pointed out there, it could have been a slow start yesterday from ViCi, so you hope you don't see the same. Oh, here we go.
That was not the most recent game though. They played just 2 weeks ago, Nuke and Inferno, and it was very close. 16-12 Inferno, 16-14 Nuke to ViCi. So overall, pretty close in that series. And so hopefully there's a chance then the Beyond can take it one step further this time and overthrow ViCi. We'll see. As we get on into the game, guys, pause has ended and the pistol round begins. Beyond moving towards the A site as QQ goes straight down and takes down Omen. That is a good start. It's a good omen, you could say.
Yeah, certainly bodes well for them, with the think also being done towards Jam Young. It just put, as you can see, so much pressure on ViCi. Kaze was just chilling in the corner there. Must have pushed through upper B without being spotted in the beginning. Mayrolls just had no idea. And suddenly back into the 4-on-4, Beyond begin to move in towards that A bomb site where, as you can see, there is a couple players from the CTs set up trying to tap away with those USBs, but not being able to hit anything before Beyond closing the distance. And with that, the frags all being found for the T side. The bomb gets planted a 4-on-2 now, as it's Advent and Kaze left to try and save the day. Not currently with a kit in their possession either, so certainly making this retake a lot more difficult. And yeah, it's pretty much done at this point, as you can see, unless Kaze pulls off the ace clutch, which really shouldn't be allowed by Beyond. They don't really need to continue to face. QQ may be taking some risks that aren't necessary. But overall, it shouldn't cost them too much. 2 bullets left in the CZ. And he wants to hunt with it. He's gone for it.
Only
Madman.
one victim. Can he land these 2 bullets? Maybe he didn't realize.
No.
He's out of ammo. No, he realized because instantly responded.
There's the CZ.
That's a free upgrade for Kaze. He'll be happy. A happy chappy. And 1-0. Beyond go up in the pistol round. Nice little duels for them early on. Great control. When QQ opens up Pop Dog, that removes a lot of the ViCi defense around that A site. And even though Kaze is able to respond, he's so far removed from the combat that he hasn't actually halted the A push whatsoever. We go on in to round number 2, and ViCi, on the back of an upgraded CZ that goes to Advent, have got themselves a nice rounded buy. Scout in play. And honestly, that CZ being saved can be looked past, but it shouldn't be. The fact that Kaze is able to drop the CZ to Advent means that you can actually have someone dropping him a scout, potentially, if the money was a little bit lower, if they felt so inclined. Advent could have gotten himself armor. And it's actually a lot of helmets in play as well, which you don't normally see coming out.
Yeah, helpful against those Galils. And even, I guess, just the extra few nades that they were able to get off the back of bringing the CZ over. Even if it was just an extra smoke and a flash for themselves, which I believe is the case for Advent. So, yeah, big find for sure. An opportunity for ViCi to try and bounce back here early on. But Beyond, on paper, they've taken the safe buy here by going for all rifles. Of course, as we said, mostly Galil, but they have a couple AKs. They had the nades as well. And they've taken a fairly slow approach into this round for the moment. Putting pressure around that B side slightly, though. And with that, actually been able to pull the scout over. So for the moment, it is only Zoking and Advent on that A side of the map. And with Beyond setting themselves up for what looks to be this A-bomb site hit, it certainly is going to be a difficult one for ViCi to try and hold. If they don't get a couple of kills, they may just have to consider the save. So they really do need these 2 A players to at least get 1 each. Oh, that one is perfect. Oh, maybe not. He's actually made his way up above the train. Was forced to drop down, so trapped up in sandwich, but there's only 20 seconds left, so this can get really dangerous. Auman's bombing through, actually drops the bomb. Olivia being spotted on the bomb site itself as well. Will eventually trade one back, but the Deagle of Auman still doing damage, nearly lining them up. Will eventually get that frag on towards Olivia, and as you can see, the bomb, it has to be planted. Auman moving around to the stop it. He's done it, looking for the ace. What the hell? Mitch, he's just allowed to fight one by one.
Well, that was beyond disgraceful for the T side. That is a rough one to watch. My God, Auman, as you said, Dean, isolating every single fight. The AWP in play straight away.
I've never seen someone be able to just fight from connector so freely. it wasn't even freely. He just kept swinging in and out, jiggle peeking, tapping. But I've never seen someone last so long just doing that in connector, trying to delay.
This is the problem when you give pistols the space. You just can't do it. And we come into that round, we talk about the scout, the utility in play. Little did we know that Deagle was going to be the turning point of the round. And for Beyond, it does ultimately come down to not giving their opponents respect in that position, not feeling the need to change the round strategy or to delay it by just a second or two to deal with that player that had been spotted. Instead, saying, oh, well, he'll be insignificant. And unfortunately, they learned the hard way. It wasn't true. The Deagles come into this round as well, and have already had impact, with Mayrolls taking a kill towards the B site and staving off the connector player. This could very well allow the bomb to cross, but Mayrolls is getting aggressive. He actually caught the shot to Advent. At this point, with a UMP and connector, I don't think he's going to do a whole bunch. Good kill by Zoking, though. Resticate dropping down. Okay, he gets the information. The trade is there immediately. That's a solid start. Now they realize it's probably going to be an A hit, but the thing is, Omen has to hold this by himself. He does so. Had he have fallen, Advent was 21 health. That would be a pretty easy kill for the T side. And then it's only an AWP to retake 1v2, which is very unlikely. So Beyond, we're actually only a hair's width away from winning that round.
Yeah, definitely got too close for my liking. Even just the drop down and towards Pop Dog. Damage and then eventually the kill being found. Good work for a bit of damage at least to be put through from Beyond. The issue is full eco. They can't really afford to do anything in this round at all, so this is still an opportunity for ViCi to try and stabilize that economy a small bit. This is the round that they should be looking at taking without without having any casualties come in, most likely. That certainly is the goal. And Beyond, only having Glocks, they're deciding to group up. They're bringing it over towards Ivy in the beginning of the round. And I believe the goal is going to be to try and swarm that area. Auman is going to be the sole defender there for the moment. And of course, he's already got himself an ace. So he'd be happy enough to have all these eco and players throwing themselves at him. And yeah, indeed, having a fun time so far. Gets dinked down. He does have a smoke and a nade, which you can certainly use to delay as the smoke indeed goes down. The nade not really going to be doing too much damage. But he stopped the push and he's already given them a 2-man advantage. Make that a 3-man advantage. Can he get a second ace already in round 4? Maybe. Final player over towards main, so he's not where he's challenging anyway. It shouldn't be possible. SDK going out. Should be spotted by everyone else pretty much. Advent actually ends up getting the kill. I thought the op from connector would have spotted it.
Well, 3-1 we go, and Beyond have been impressive in the pistol round, but well, no, actually, that would be unfair to say not since then, because they've actually had some close rounds. Even with the Deagles, they made things almost
yeah, the second
work.
round wasn't bad. They done a little bit of damage at least.
Bad things definitely happened.
They made it acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not out of faith for this T side. I think they've definitely got some rounds left in the tank. And it could begin now. The utility is slightly lighter on some of these players, obviously with the state their money was in. No AWP either coming through, which often be a pretty pivotal part of train, especially moving in towards that A site. But it looks like Beyond are going to try a counter for that without an op. Why not go in for a faster, more close range play? The rush to B. They wait outside for the utility to be burnt up, and burnt is the key word in this round. That Molotov catching off a couple of the players, keeping them back. Alman, good for one, but falls afterwards. And so we're into a 3v3 with a bomb plant for Beyond, and KNTZ, he's going to be the pivotal player in this round. If he gets one, he should stave them off from pushing. The money is good. But with K's left alone with the AWP, he just wants to get away. Even doing so might be impossible. The molly to connector to prevent him from falling back. The player's pushing up close, looking to catch an angle. He has managed to make it into CT though, and now he's running for his life.
straight out of there. Completely understandably, with that AWP in play, Beyond only having 3 players alive, it seems like they're willing to send out at least QQ to try and hunt this down. It makes sense, obviously, if they take the oppo out of his hands, it does severely impact them, but even then, I don't know how worthwhile it is, but there we go. They managed to catch it. That was a really big risk, as I was saying. If they lost one more player, they could have been in quite a bit of trouble, but being able to find the kill now, they retrieve the op, they're able to give it over to Olivia as well. And they do limit K's quite a bit, although he will be able to get the op in play. That's only because it's gifted over to him. He has to give a FAMAS to Advent in return, who's left with absolutely no nades, as you see. Elsewhere, they are able to buy up for themselves, but overall, a small weakness certainly being forced of the buy off the back of them being able to stop that op from being recovered, as well as getting themselves the kind of the better weaponry on that D side. So this is a big opportunity for Beyond now if they're able to actually chain together a couple of rounds. If they get this one, then ViCi are really going to be struggling as they get put onto an eco.
Time ticks away, and Beyond are taking this one incredibly slowly. Taking out the map, well, I mean, they were taking it slowly, and then QQ just goes straight down pop. The other thing about that is they weren't ready to pursue a strategy afterwards. The players in Ivy were still shifting towards even the entrance, that alleyway. Now with that, QQ is essentially sacrificed. No benefit to it. Beyond struggled to regain that. I'm curious here, Mayrolls, has he gone down? No. And I completely get why Mayrolls isn't going down the ladder now, although the CTs have left that position. There's no way for him to know that. The boost over gives KNTZ the information. He's able to get one before falling. Looking to the bomb side as well. Good premonition by STK, but he wasn't ready for the op to still be posted on that angle. The smoke down in towards T main. Made it so that he could swing out wide and not worry about being shot in the back. Oh, Olivia. Good Molotov. 50 damage done to Omen.
Yeah, great find. Mayrolls even managing to pin K's in that corner in behind the green train, so suddenly it's the 2-on-2. Omen feeling the pressure now, as you said, already being tagged up, but that flank from Popdog, rather, it forces Olivia to go ahead and try and plant in the smoke. It gives Omen the opportunity to just spam in and put a stop to it, and of course, with the kill coming in from elsewhere as well, they do manage to deal with the 2-on-2. ViCi, they bounce right back, they keep 2 alive. Unfortunately, they don't get the op for themselves, but as we can see with the damage that was done in that previous round, with only 3 players managing to actually survive for Beyond, they aren't able to buy up in this one. Instead, some deagles to be purchased up, a couple of flashes, and ViCi should be going up 5-2 early on in this now, and this is obviously their opportunity to try and build up some economy. They do need to be taking this round the lot cleaner. They don't want to be left in a position where, again, they're within just a single round of being forced onto an eco, maybe even a double eco / force fight. Very aggressive on B. That could have been risky. Fortunately, they traded out. And with that, Jam Young also knowing that he needs to just fall back away and not take any more risks, and also success being found elsewhere. So there's really not too much to be done in this round from Beyond, it seems. Oh, that nade. Did you get the...
So, I don't know if anyone can hear it when I talk occasionally. Apparently, because OBS obviously has different sound settings to you, Dean. It's like car alarms going off consistently. I don't know what's happening at
car alarms.
8:20
I can hear
in the
it through Discord anyway.
Yeah, but OBS I think has more of a...
Maybe someone's just a really heavy sleeper and they use their car alarm instead. They misunderstood the word alarm.
I was listening to it. It's 2 different car alarms that went off, and they're settled again, but I feel as though they're going to go off again. I don't know what... I've never set a car alarm off.
They're like kids. One of them goes off, they all do.
No, that's a lie. I have once. My grandmother locked the car for a minute while she got something from the house, and I moved, and it set it off. I think I locked it while she was in there. But I don't know how you set a car alarm off for 10 minutes.
They had to be larger to set off the sensors.
Listen, I had a booster seat at the time, so it worked out.
So you were
relevant, though.
about 12 or something.
The
great nade though from Omen. I don't know if you caught that around main.
I don't
Not
think
fantastic for STK though.
For ViCi there with the 5 versus 4 man advantage, damage done to QQ. I think they're, you can see the rotate here from K's. They're a little bit worried about that B hit coming through. It worked previously for Beyond, and when you're in these disadvantageous spots, you go to what works. Kays with the headshot on the scout, catching them on the cross. Damage done by Jam Young. And this is not looking all too good, although Olivia is able to pick up one, get a bomb plant in as well. QQ doesn't need a face, but he's caught trying to make it to the safety of the oil train. And unfortunately, that will end the round. And K's absolutely dominating on the scout. A lovely little 3K for him, and an upgrade to an AK.
I seen Commander Leader. I think it's Leader. He spelled Leader a different way. I'd imagine it's pronounced the same though. He said it's pronounced Kazi with 2 syllables, and I think he is right because I'm pretty sure I've heard that before. Is he right? It is 8 a.m. so I might be going mad. Kaza? Yeah, I think.
Okay. My apologies.
He might be right. It's been probably about a year since I've got to cover him, but I think he might be right. I guess we'll stick with K's maybe for the moment until we get like 40 people correct us, because there's always one person who's going to troll you for fun.
I think I've heard that as well before, though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
because
sure
it did sound familiar as soon as he said it, so I was like, oh yeah.
I don't mind rocking with it.
We'll go with Kaza for now anyway. Sounds cool. But Beyond, they're able to get another buy. Obviously, that previous round really didn't go too well for them. They got off to a pretty poor start, having lost SDK to the nade within just seconds at the round beginning around main. They were able to at least get a bit of a recovery with the bomb going down and getting a couple of kills, so it's allowed for them to afford to buy here yet again. But ViCi are off to a strong start here, going up 6-2 already early on. It's not the start that I'm sure Beyond would have been imagining here on their own map choice. Obviously, having chosen ViCi got that start on the CT side, and they've been looking comfortable in this position for sure, as already it's a 5-on-3.
It's a good start for sure. The utility coming down afterwards with STK and KNTZ lit the hell up. Certainly doesn't help. For ViCi, it's a spot that they can feel pretty comfortable from. Look, we talk about the T sides on train maps like this, Nuke, Vertigo. You can be slow to start if you're not too familiar with the map. Even if you are, it can be hard to figure out exactly what your opponents are doing. And ViCi have been very good at changing their setups, their utility, varying as well. We're Beyond or safe one round. They go to take that map control at the same time the next, and nades come flying through. Ops are in place. That's what ViCi need to do. Just keep it so Beyond don't know where is safe. Keep them worried. Now it's going to be pistols coming through, because Beyond don't really have a lot of cash, do they?
No, that's what happens when unfortunately you aren't able to get the bomb plant down this time. As well as, of course, not being able to get any kills for the extra economy to be added. So, yeah, just left the Deagles in this round. A couple of nades being brought out as well. Everyone has body armor, at least. That is one positive. Not needing the helmets, obviously, at this point when they're up against all AKs from the CT side and then an op as well. Oh, one of those AKs, though, quickly being dispatched of. In theory, the AK shouldn't be too retrievable here. QQ can actually get rid of it. But we've seen not only is has that frag come in towards Elman, also Zoking has been tagged down to 38 health. So this is a fantastic start for Beyond, considering what they have available. Can they do much more with it, though, is the question. Obviously, the weapon's still heavily favoring that CT side, as well as having quite a few nades left.
So for Beyond at this point, moving back to B seems fairly likely considering the success they had there earlier on with Deagles as well. Although no utility, which is always going to be great difficulty when it comes to challenging on range or going down the ramp, especially as they know Kaza, excusez-moi, has been in position with the AWP towards the back. It looks like still, though, they're going to go towards that strategy unless this is a heavy pop presence. Let me just take a look. Oh, it is actually splitting in towards the A side, looking to isolate duels. They do so successfully on the first. Kazan not in position to actually support this site, and so all the pressure is on Advent to do it, but he's getting swung by STK. Beyond have basically won this round. ViCi don't have the money to where they have to save. They can definitely still commit to this, but this retake ain't looking all too good, and unless Beyond give them an opportunity and give them a kill quickly, I think they will just save this.
Yeah, can't blame them really either, can you? Kaze having the op, and then obviously the AK on the Jam Young, another weapon they can repurchase. that kill maybe could influence them a little bit to go forward, but it doesn't seem like it's really going to. They just want to ensure that they're going to be able to have everything in this next round, that they're going to be able to keep some spare money as well, and just give themselves the opportunity now to bounce back quickly. Realizing obviously giving 3 to the T side isn't the end of the world, certainly an opportunity for them to get back straight into the winning ways, but it's not going to happen here, at least in terms of the weapons being saved over. They have the money, but it is going to cost them pretty much everything now to reinvest in this round. So a big opportunity for Beyond, if they can find this one, to likely bring it up to 5 already off the back of it. And we're even going to see that double up setup, actually, a bit of a switch up now from ViCi. Advin not keeping it himself, instead dropping it over to Aumann, who of course, has been having a pretty fantastic performance so far up there, 15-4. I think he was 11-4 at one point, or 11-3 rather. Looking to get aggressive, actually finds the boost up in main. Just nothing really to be done for SDK. Unfortunately, wasn't watching for that close-up peek. Obviously, his teammate on his head was watching towards the back of the green train and such.
I guess worried more so about left side of the train coming up towards Olaf, but it's punished for it. I mean, it's not too often that you'll see an Opera just rush up to main in the open and swing from your right side like that. I don't blame him for not being ready. But unfortunately, whether he was supposed to predict that or not, they do go down a man. Also a very passive hold towards Team Main, which now needs to be retaken by KNTZ before they can even think about getting the execute over. I was going to say that Olivia's in position for it, but I see now he's actually watching the main push. Not even Ivy. Wow, I said a passive main hold, but that is ridiculous. So for a minute, they just wait outside main for a push. Nothing comes through. Now the utility is over, and we're going to see ViCi just return. This is the problem. They haven't baited out any utility. Luckily, double smokes go down. So that burns up a little bit for the CT side. The boost over. The angle there for Olivia. And I don't know what Omen was watching, if not on top of the smoke.
I guess expecting them to creep out in behind the green train, potentially. Zoking was watching, obviously, if they were to come out to the right in towards E-Box, but that clearly wasn't the goal. The boost, which they had attempted in the beginning of the round, eventually working out, but it still may not be enough in the round, because Olivia is left alone. He needs an ace clutch, and he's not even able to get that bomb down. Jam Young just too quick on the flank. ViCi, yet again, after just giving up one round, are immediately able to stabilize and recover things. The double up setup, the switch up that they made right there, it does work out for them in terms of picking up the opening kill and the final frag as well there for Kaze. Beyond, they're straight back on the pistols. An extra, what was a half a second off of the bomb plant, and they maybe could have been on a buy here.
Yeah, literally, it must have been a half a second. I didn't think they had a chance to actually stop the plant, but apparently they did. That molly came down from close, and the T's and Ivy know it. And so looking now to deal with Advent. They've set the car alarm off again. What are they doing?
I can't hear it through your mic. I'll check on stream for you in a minute and see. I don't know. Kicking the car.
I'm just so confused, because you have to unlock your car, right, to turn the alarm off.
I believe so,
and then they're locking it. Going back inside and it's going off. Maybe there's a problem with the car. I don't know.
Alarms maybe starting to blur for Beyond at this point, though. I would say that this is getting to a spot where if they want to get a T-side they're happy with, they do need to be coming out with at least 2 of the 3 final rounds now. Ideally, all 3 would be the position that they'd want to have for themselves.
Yeah, Dean, you know what else I just noticed? I think my window's open. I've just been shouting, what the hell are they doing with the car alarm? And they're right outside the house. So, unfortunately, I'm never going to leave my house
Unfortunately,
again.
Mitch has got to go now, slump down into a corner.
I'm just never going to leave the house. I think that's the safe call here.
Hopefully they heard you down and make sure the car alarm stays up.
Yeah. And then next time I'll just stick my head out the window. Fix your goddamn alarm! Oh, Alvin.
This is much quicker. Yeah, I like the change up.
That was a terrible read by Alvin, though, in when the T's could come there. As you're saying, a change of pace, definitely. But not being aware that they could be around the corner at that time, being caught with a flash out, that is a huge loss for ViCi. When they're on the verge of connecting double digits, yeah, really beating back Beyond's chances of taking this map. This was, in all fairness, an important round, because if they lose it, Beyond come back into the realm feasibility in terms of winning this one, and they're trading back 1-for-1, but then eventually Jam Young comes in to save the day and put it into a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, bringing us back to a spot here for ViCi where it is looking pretty optimistic indeed. Mayroll's crossing over. I was going to say the timing. Depends which angle he checks as he moves across, and he will put his AK in the right direction. Finds that headshot and suddenly leaves it all on the Kaze. He obviously knows there's one player around that A bomb site, but up until now, not sure of where the second player is. Pretty soon, though, the bomb is going to be planted as Mayrolls is going very, very aggressive. This is risky. I don't think Kaze is going to expect it, which he does not. But those sort of plays are kind of a big gamble, similar to what we seen yesterday on in our second matchup, where there was moments. I'm blanking. Was it Paper Rex who were having quite a few moments where they were getting opportunities, they were getting openings, and then they just continued with crazy aggression like that and ended up losing quite a few rounds. Thankfully, that doesn't happen there, but you don't really need to be given opportunities for those one-on-ones sometimes. It does work out for them, but they still need to get these 2 final rounds, and of course, here in this one at least, ViCi still have all the weapons that they could ask for.
They do indeed. The double up setup coming out yet again. They're looking to push to double digits. If ViCi managed to make it to 10, they're looking decent, but at this point, considering the start they've had, the position they've ended up in, and giving beyond those 2 out of the last 4 rounds, they would really like to just shut this T side down and put it 11-4. Oh, Zoking's dead. Double mollies. He wasn't ready for that. Thought the smoke would stave it off, but unfortunately it didn't quite give him the safe space he was hoping for. And with Zoking removed, ViCi have a massive gap in the defense. Nobody's towards Pop, and so that aggressive position for Kaza is very risky. But also on the B side, Jam Young was alone, so a rotate comes through from Alman, now leaving them in a massively disadvantageous spot to hold off. But that's why they had the push from Advent. He realizes that outside A is clear. All of Ivy, all through T-spawn, nobody there. And at this point, they can fully rotate towards that B site with the exception of one player watching Pop Dog at where the T's do come out. But the bomb, it's being dropped up above. Mayrolls eventually finds the kill, but now he's not there to help out on the push. And so that AWP picks them off one at a time. Mayrolls in a 1v3, an ace clutch needed to win this one out, and it ain't gonna happen today. Double digits for ViCi and beyond. Need this last round, but the money, that ain't quite in their favor.
There's been quite a few rounds there as well where beyond they're successful in getting that opening kill. They just aren't able to chain any of the rounds together. They aren't able to capitalize on those opening kills when they get them, it seems. And yeah, it's kind of disappointing because they've definitely had the opportunity here for a bit of a stronger half. 1 or 2 of those rounds go their way. Suddenly they're sitting on 6, maybe even 7 rounds, because there was a couple opportunities even where the economy of ViCi obviously could have been broken. So it is a bit unfortunate. Right now fighting to try and just salvage a 5th round and even having a shotgun in play to do so. Advent, though, is fairly aggressive up on Ivy. He has the help of the op in the back lines, or rather towards the back of Ivy. Correction, did have, because Elman has gone down, but I doubt they expect to have Advent still up close here on the server box. So yeah, not really checking that position out, not expecting anyone else to be there. They just throw in a few smokes and move back. The issue is obviously with a player up close, Advent finds all that info pretty much instantly, or at least gets the lack of info that they haven't pushed through yet, because there was a smoke down. I wasn't quite on him.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, looking at the minimap, you can't quite tell. It's a shame they don't put the smokes on the minimap, actually, for Spectator. Nice. I know that Blast and stuff have them as custom, but I'm surprised that CSGO in general doesn't have that. Here we go, Zoking with one. He's got to fall back at this point, surely. He knows he can be pushed all around. Instead, goes up on top of the train, gives Mayrolls the angle to take him down. Even without a boost, that would have been an impossible angle for him. And now into a 3v3. The CT's locked out pretty much, and this should be a bomb plant so long as KNTZ doesn't challenge on top of the train into connector with the bomb. I don't know why he does that. It could be planted already.
Yeah, it's actually out in the open right now. Kaze does spot the first player crossing over, finds Mayrolls up close, and he has the perfect angle being held. QQ steps out right into the crosshair, and that shot is not going to be missed by Kaze. He's 19-5 right now. We have multiple players on ViCi performing near immaculately right now. This is going to be such a difficult half for Beyond to try and recover. But of course, guys, before that, we are going to be sending it over to a quick break. So make sure you stick around. We will be back in just a couple of minutes with that second half.
Thought you loved me, but you ran away. I've been living in the shadows for a while. Demons calling me from the afterlife. Dark doesn't faze me anymore. I can see my tears into gold. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, no, I don't care. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, I said, 'cause baby, every fucking time you've played me, you should know that I don't give a single fuck about you and your words. All the times you lied to me, bitch, I took notes. I don't know what to say. I thought you loved me, but you don't. I know people come and go away. Sun is low, that's my time to shine again. 'Cause baby, every fucking time you play me, you should know that I don't. You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. ViCi versus Beyond, half number 2 going live here on Train. It is 11-4 to ViCi. They have looked very good on the CT side, and now they get a chance to attack and show us what they've got. Looking in towards the CT side with an early B push. I didn't see it from their perspective, but I'm presuming that they didn't spot these T's out, as they then go into a much more passive hold. The position for Olivia to rotate into connector and support the A side if he wants to. KNTZ, who has pointed out, we will continue to pronounce that way. Oh, KNTZ?
Someone said it is actually pronounced that. Or KNTZ. Yeah.
Close enough then.
I always change around Z and Z. Interchangeable for me. I'm weird like that. Ooh.
That's fair. Doesn't make much of a difference anyways.
Look at this B fake.
That is huge, mate. The fact that they've gotten down that smoke is basically what robs Beyond of all that information. They snuck up behind, but that's the smoke again. You're able to sneak on through, play that close fight, take an opening. Now it's back to a 4v4. Alman up behind them, or he can. The option is open to him. Zoking. Oh, well, he wins the round single-handedly. That connector play, he just goes straight up B. He's already got a 4-kick. Give him the ace, boys. Go on, let him go. Ah, Kaze. What are you doing? He's nicked it. He's stolen it away. Zoking had an ace on hand and really was the pivotal player. So if I open the map for a sec, it's my favorite thing to do. Thank you, CSGO. Putting back the drawing. Love it. But the ability for him to come down, the smoke that was in play right around here, he just went on through, snuck on into it, got himself into a position where, I mean, he was able to easily catch May rolls off right there, and then just destroyed them. And from that point, they know he's in connector. They're trying actively to deal with him. They send 2 players in, and each of them just gets absolutely ripped apart.
What a round, though. I don't know if I've ever seen a two-man fake be so convincing to the CTs. But yeah, great after plant as well. Just great work playing on the aggressive in general, as you said, being able to push a player up and towards connector. At that point, it was pretty much all done. They had to get that kill instantly, or else, of course, at that point, rotate in through elsewhere. So it is the force buy from beyond, the double scout setup, which you love to see combined with these pistols. So far, it's actually just the pistol from SDK doing it all, finding 2 kills to stick him out popping main before himself going down. But he has given them a pretty fantastic position alongside the damage now that's being connected, especially as Kaze goes down. That was the one healthy player. KNTZ able to steal away that AK. And now, Zoking and Advent, what is the plan? It looks like they just want to try and run it back towards B, but they're going to need to take down Mayrolls, who has that deagle on the bomb site, and it's within range of just a single shot to the body of both of these players. He doesn't even want to challenge too aggressively, saying, okay, yeah, I'm just going to make sure we keep this advantage. Actually, peaks up to fight against Advent alongside Olivia, and does manage to win it out. His teammate, oh, actually whiffing on Zoking. Getting a little bit closer than you'd hope for, but they just need to stick together, or else they need KNTZ to go ahead and do that with the AK. Beyond, they steal that round away, and it's off the back of the initial 2 kills from STK. I guess putting so much pressure on ViCi and forcing them to continue to take those fights to try and pull something back, and obviously it just didn't work out for them.
Well, that's the thing. Look, as you said, they got to stick in it together, and they were all in that together. And once you know that you are going towards the B site, then it shows, you know, and that's the thing. So you got to stand hand in hand as a team, play around that. And when you do that, Dean, you can make your dreams come true. That's a fact.
All you've got to do is hold the hands of everyone around you. Maybe not in these times.
Did you not get my High School Musical reference?
No.
Come on, Dean. Come on.
It has been
God damn it, Dean.
I've seen High School Musical when I was a child. Give me a break.
I had High School Musical sing it as a kid. That's right. I was damn cool.
Obviously you did. You're Mitch.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a headshot. He was actually lined up on him, but ends up only being a tag. I think through the wall as well. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I actually got it from KNTZ's buying. He was like, nah, I'm out of here as soon as he took some damage. He himself had the spray lined up. I was really surprised he wasn't able to connect any damage in return, but that didn't work out. For now, happy enough, though, to play a little bit more passively. Obviously, they have the better weapons overall. They know that there is a bit in play, at least for ViCi. They've now been informed that there's a Galil in the hands of Zoking, as well as an AK elsewhere for Jamyoung, which I don't think they've noted as of yet. As I say that, though, obviously it is going to be spotted on the B side of the map. Olivier going aggressive up that ramp, and despite there being a second player relatively nearby, Advent just wasn't able to follow up for the trade, so they end up pulling it back to the 4-on-4. And they even have 2 players ready on B, which is where the hit looks to come in.
Yeah, they've not really left themselves any backdoor to get out of here. If they do want to rotate to A, it's going to be a very risky push-down pop dog. There's still a utility left, potentially, for the CT side. It's just a straight-out push down the ramp. No smokes in play. Flashes over. And Mayrolls is tearing them apart. That was a one way to end the round, I guess. A free AWP as well for the CT side, right? So, be happy, boys. Or was that a scout? Am I dumb?
There was a scout on the ground. There was a scout, an AK, and a Galil.
Evidently, I do need my eyesight checked. It was just on distance. I was like, oh, yeah, that's enough. Yeah, this early in the morning just ain't working.
Yeah, I think we'll forgive you. This round, though, I'm not expecting anything. Should be easy goings for Beyond. If they lose even one player, I think that'd be more than they'd be willing to. There is Glocks, of course, in play here only for the T side. They have 1 flash. Train is one of the few maps where I would say this bomb plant is usually kind of likely on the B bomb site. But in this situation, as long as the CTs hold it down with 2 of them in position, then there shouldn't be too much hope. As I say that, though obviously they are going to be able to put it down in a fairly safe position. So there we go. Kaze even gets himself a 2nd kill. So 2 frags and the bomb plant already is really a lot more than they would have been looking for with only $200 investment into a single flash. Making that back and more. Salvage a bit of utility, I believe, there for the defuse.
this is close to the point where you do get a little bit worried. 12-7 coming into this buy round. If it doesn't go to ViCi, then that huge advantage that they built up on their CT side pretty much disappears. It's funny how fickle it can be at times. You just take a look at how things have gone so far. On the terrorist side, winning the pistol, finding a bomb plant round 2, but getting beaten out by what is a fairly close by to your own. Getting dominated in the round before. We don't even need to talk about that. And then the bomb plant right there. ViCi have definitely had some good signs from it. There's an opening duel for Omen. And you take a look at the map real quick and just look at the gaps in their defense because of that. You see, the problem here is there were a couple different strategies in the round. One was going to Ivy, Alman finding that kill with the passive hold. The other was a fast blitz out A. And on that positional advantage that they had, as soon as that player dies, you're pretty screwed. Your players coming out of main aren't out just yet. Your Ivy one has to slow it down now because you know there's one site, maybe one CT as well. Main players don't have the lines of sight to really contend against that with the smoke that was down, and gave Beyond a huge opportunity. Now pulled back again by STK with another frag, and for Beyond, they don't know where the bomb is. They've lost their side player, and this is where they start to struggle. Oh, wow. I mean, minus Kaze just destroying them with the op. They were still going to struggle because they had one player Ivy, one B site. They're so split, they can't help each other out. They have no information. But with that second kill, I think he's pretty much cemented the round.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Mayrolls is even moving towards that A-bomb site, but it seems like it might be the correct decision if his goal is to save, although even then, the op is still in position for Kaze, and yeah, that's just not gonna, he's just not gonna let it happen. Massive 3k there from Kaze to go ahead and close that round out, and with that, ViCi, they managed to pick up their opening gun round here on the T side. Obviously, they faltered a little bit after dropping to the 4 Now they're just looking to get right back into winning ways as soon as they've stabilized that economy. Can they keep it up? It's still a bit of a force here coming in from Beyond. Obviously, not being fantastic. That's why I was saying that weapon being saved over would have helped massively, because they do get left with a couple SMGs as well as a glass cannon up here on Olivia. So it's not ideal, but they certainly do have an opportunity to fight back in. It's just a necessity that they win this right now. Otherwise, it is going to be ViCi very likely reaching map point already. Bit of molly damage over towards Ivy. Obviously, given away that there is some players up close, Olivia takes the angle and willing to take the fight, will be able to get one before himself fallen. The question is now, will Kaze actually expect the second player up close? Oh, KNTZ actually tries to go forward on the timing of the smoke. You have to admire the attempt here, and of course the smoke pop and thinking he could catch the player before the weapon is drawn again. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work, and Kaze having the op as well, it really was the perfect weapon for that position.
Impressive stuff. ViCi Flash almost opened up the door for the kill. QQ suffers 9 damage. That could have been a whole lot worse. Is he going up the ladder? Well, switching to his perspective didn't help me realize, but yes, he comes out of the smoke, and he is atop the ladder. As SDK falls, well, he's the only one left. And although that flank, the flank isn't even going to catch him off, look, Jam's already legged it towards Connector and is looking for that player that they know is in Pop Dog and that they know they gave the room to move up through upper. That's a shame. I feel like on QQ, how do you have went the other way? He chose to back off the smoke and move towards the B site. Had he have moved over towards Showers instead, I think he possibly would have found a kill. Player retreating, but unfortunately, it ain't gonna happen for him today, and that means ViCi are up 14-7. Dominating here on the T side of train as well. Although the rounds have been traded back now 3-3, when you've got an lead of 11-4 at the halftime, but that's all you need really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem for Beyond. They really just don't have the room for this. Now that they are, of course, looking at a position where sure they have the MP9 saved over, but other than that, they've only got 19 major loss bonus, so they're facing an eco potentially to try and fight for the overtime, or else they can go for a force buy and give themselves very, very little with it. So it is a tough decision for sure. I wouldn't mind a pause being called, but we'll see what they decide. An MP9 being purchased up for Olivia, so they are buying, as you can see. And yeah, they were able to win out the force buy in the second round, if we're being fair. it's a similar enough investment. They don't have the scouts instead of a couple MP9s. They have an okay amount of nades. They even have a kit available for QQ. But they need this, otherwise they're on a very similar investment in this following round to try and actually keep themselves alive here on their own map choice, so it's not a position that they can afford to be in. QQ yet again around Pop Dog. Smoke goes up though, so wants to try and get aggressive around it. May be able to catch them off guard here. Actually clears out the B-Halls alongside Mayrolls. Doesn't realize the player was just on the other side of that smoke, but they've gotten so much info and so much control now. I was gonna say with that could potentially stack up A. Unfortunately though, that aggression through B has been spotted, and in the meantime they're still committing to the A bomb site. They just don't care.
Yeah, ViCi just played that round perfectly. I mean, Jam Young watching upper, making sure he had all his bases covered. They had a smoke that could have allowed a player down through Pop Dog. But from there, the players on the T side that are out on A just worry about the back of Pop. Jam worries about any flank on A. The others push out. They take every single duel on range, which is what you need to do against this kind of buy. Really not a single complaint about how that round went. KNTZ not going to get a thing done as Zoking swings on through and finishes that off 15-7. And that's the kind of clean gameplay I expect from ViCi. And it's really refreshing to see. Yesterday in our first games, we had some, I was calling it wild and wacky Counter-Strike, and it really was. There's some really weird decision-making at times. We had over-aggression consistently, teams throwing away advantages, and yet here, ViCi are showing us what Asian Counter-Strike is capable of.
I've seen Tom has just tweeted out that I believe Invictus buys were using, oh sorry, the Tyloo buys were using a pretty crazy boost on Vertigo. Did you see that?
Yeah. So
I've never seen that boost before.
They were doing this in the warm-up. One thing I will say is that they used that in the warm-up, right? The players were there.
Yeah.
And then they also used a save spot. If you go on Tombiz's Twitter, you'll see a save spot on Vertigo, which is down in the elevator shaft, which is pretty sick.
But only definitely put research in.
Yeah. They only did it in the warm-up, though. This round's playing out as expected.
Well.
I mean, when you've only got
SMGs,
SMGs, you have to look at this and say it's train. It's a scope-centric map, and you come in a scout and SMGs, you're at a massive disadvantage on ranged duels immediately. And I think things have gone about as you'd expect, considering how the buy rounds went as well.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 rounds that we seen here at the beginning of this half from Beyond were the only consecutive rounds that they were able to pick up, and that was off the back of winning out that force buy and then having a few easier rounds, of course. So it has been pretty much just all ViCi here so far. Libya left alone without a kit with just a scout and a 1-on-3. Obviously not in a position where he really had any opportunity to win it out. So it will be closed by ViCi 16-7 indeed as they steal away Train. And with that, let me double check. I believe it is Inferno. Yeah, it is indeed Inferno that's going to be coming up next. Obviously, with that Beyond, get the choice of side at least. They do pick to start on the CT side. But Inferno isn't a map where it's ridiculously one-sided. And especially if you get off to a poor start on the CT side, it can be difficult to restabilize that economy. Just because the smokes and the nades and such are so important that you need to ensure you do have that solid investment. You can't be going for crazy investments and such like you do see in the Asian games and the CIS games, and even from some European teams. Sometimes you do obviously see plays like that backfire a bit more often on a map like Inferno. So you've got to be worried with that coming up next, of course.
Yeah, you definitely do. But Dean, for now, we're not going to worry. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll see exactly how Inferno goes. ViCi are up 1-0 moving on to that map, and so they stand a pretty damn good chance. As you said, Beyond get the choice of sides, and so hopefully they'll be able to do some damage. We'll be back in just a little bit with that anyway. Should be about, 12 minutes until that one goes live. And so we'll see you here very, very soon.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move, we move, we move. Bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up, let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide in with the rhymes that make the dimes all close their eyes and fantasize. I'm divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats on stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young, black, successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Live until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move, we move, we move. Bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round again.
Elohim, you home? Can't you come over?
Ayy, I know my way to the paper. All of my women look tailored. It costs a few thousand, it's tailored. Can't drop a dime in the sidewalk. I'm in the room with the bosses. All of our pockets look gorgeous, ayy. You'll see the boys in the Forbes, ayy. Constantly plotting, we want this, ayy. I need my bag and clips extended, ayy. Blast you haters to fragments, ayy. Got no time for the cameras, cause I might just pull the extension, ayy. Young, back to the basics. Get in that bag on occasion. She top it until she get brainless, hey. Damn it, I love to be famous, ayy. I'm in my bag, I don't have to brag, no, ayy. She's watching me stack it, so what am I capping for? Ayy, if I spend it all, it's just cause I'm racking more. Ayy, you so 10 in a back, you know I'm not capping, bro. Whoa, moving too fast, you probably thought it's a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, been doing the most. Whoa, moving too fast, yeah, I just
been doing the most. Ay, I got nothing to lose. I ain't got nothing else to prove. I see they all tryna shoot. Ashamed though, cause I'm bulletproof. Can't touch me, I'm up on the roof. I'm catching bodies, hiding all the proof. I make them disappear like poof. Just like that, you're gone for good. Little baby say she want the wood. Man, I'm so misunderstood. Done playing games, we want the goods. Really did start from the bottom. Those moments can't be forgotten. And they been trying to see how I got it. Just know it ain't the least I bought it. I bought it. Ayy, I'm in my bag, I don't have to brag, no. Ayy, she's watching me stack cause the water my cap and fold. Ayy, if I spend it all, it's just cause I'm bragging more. Ayy, you so 10 in a back, you know I'm not capping, bro. Whoa, moving too fast, you probably thought it's a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, been doing the most. Whoa, moving too fast, yeah, I just hopped in a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, I've been doing the most.
Born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane. Always told, stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we own the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
I was running road so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances.
And we ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick guys to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I'd come back fierce, cause
I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances.
And we are never feeling cold again. And we are never feeling cold again. But I can't act like it's easy. It's hard to preach. Cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure. Fishing a little wildlife. And when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I'll check it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast. Cause
I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances.
Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road, and you won't even get it. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road.
I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances.
I was running, I know, I know.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and ESEA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to ViCi versus Beyond map number 2. We are here on Inferno, ViCi's map choice, with a 1-0 advantage to ViCi themselves. My name is Mitch. Alongside myself today is the beautiful Dean, and we are getting right on into the action as the pistol round goes live in front of your eyes. I think it's fair to say that ViCi come in as the favorites, especially considering the performance they put up on Train. That's not to say that Beyond won't have some fight left in them.
Well, we hope anyway. Statistically, this map for the last month, when ViCi have played it, they have not lost it. So that it certainly is something that bodes well for them now moving on to this, of course, already being up by a map. But we hope that beyond they're going to be able to show us a decent performance. I don't think we got to see the players step up that did yesterday, so perhaps now they'll be warmed up a little bit more. So I hope we do have a more competitive matchup for sure. Already the fight being taken straight in towards mid, ready to try and push through the apartments as well. Zoking actually going out through that long smoke on his own. Advent, of course, already being low health and having the bomb on his back. Couldn't afford to go and try and help him. So as he falls, unfortunately, that does mean ViCi are going to have to concede the man advantage for now. Moving back towards B. Solid nade being dropped there on Kaze as he's crossing over. And Advent will indeed be finished off. It turns out he'd been digged up by a teammate, so that is a little bit unfortunate. But a 2-on-3. Is the bomb going to be recoverable? It should be for Aumann. Getting it across, though, is a whole nother story. And although he is able to toss it over into the pool, unfortunately losing his teammate now means he needs to cross as well. And all three players lined up in the spawn. Hits the first one. Doesn't know they're both there, actually. Didn't spot the second.
Oh, good shot by STK on the fade back. 1-0 beyond go up. So winning at the pistol round on the CT side is obviously going to put them in high spirits. And they didn't allow the bomb plant, and that's really the most important point. Had the bomb plant have come through, ViCi would immediately be in with a full buy. But it didn't. And so an eco should be coming in unless ViCi have something crazy in mind. We've certainly seen wilder decisions made over the last few days. But it looks like they are just going to take the Glocks for the most part with one P250. Beyond presumably getting a clean round. And what's interesting about this team, we talk about 3 SMGs, 4 SMGs. Very rarely do we see 5.
Ooh. Yeah. It can be very dangerous. This round, at least, they shouldn't be worrying. It means, yeah, they should have an easy time against these Kevlarless opponents. But unless they're willing to upgrade in the next round, it means they're going to be going up against AKs with 4 MP9s and an MP7. It's Inferno. If they're to do it on any map, I would probably say Inferno is where you can, just because there are so many places across the map, obviously, where those SMGs can get up close and personal and still be very, very effective. But it's a risky one. Certainly could backfire, but we'll have to see. This round, you do hope that they're not going to be losing really any players at all. Unless that player is to get a couple kills, in which case it could actually be better, because at that point then he'd likely buy up an M4 in the following round, and then they'd at least have one. But ViCi, they're just waiting. They're like, okay, yeah, Beyond, we'll let you we'll let you fester for a while and think about how this game is going to go. We don't have a lot to work with in this one, sure. They really were just hoping some mistakes would be made. But they will have to move forward now, and at this point you really don't expect anything of it. Although the third player from that A-bomb site is back in towards the spawn. So I was going to say, if they went up short, if they got a quick entry, then that rotation will take a moment. But nah, wrapping in around as well. The bomb actually heading in through long. It is going to be dropped in towards the arch. All of the players apart from Kaze are gone as he ends up getting himself one. Okay, not too bad. MP9 being retrieved. He has a nade as well, which is not going to get to use, but he gets a frag with the MP9. That is fantastic for the Opper. He's not going to pull it out, but it gives him the extra nades at least. Will he pull a Molotov into play? You would hope so. Yeah, he will. Still has 800 left over as well, so certainly helping out. And yeah, haven't actually taken 2 casualties. We do see two M4s at least in play, but it also obviously means that if they lose this round, then at that point probably looking at a force buy, because a couple of players would have a double eco. So this is fairly important for Beyond if they want to keep up this early momentum.
So King able to grab himself one alongside Aumann, and that's the opening they needed. Beyond falling completely apart at the seams in this round. ViCi not getting across completely unscathed though, as Zoking is lit up through the smoke and taken down. But still, it's workable. And from there, Beyond immediately move towards that A-bomb site and decide that it's time to save. Their money was so low from the damage being done previously that they just can't afford to commit.
Yeah, and understandably, I just pointed out, as you said, they don't have the money after reinvesting into these couple M4s. So saving over the weapons, it'll give the ability for KNTZ at least to drop over the MP7 to a teammate, and then at that point, of course, he can buy up for himself, get the M4 in play. But it's not going to be an ideal buy. Thankfully, if they are able to save all 5. Because I do of course see Jam Young looking to try and hunt this one down a little bit. I was wondering, because he doesn't really want to be losing his own AK at that point. Yeah, he doesn't want to go any further forward, just chills in the apartments, lets the time run down, and ViCi, of course, take that opening gun round. But yeah, they're able to save all 3 weapons, so as I said now, they could potentially drop over that MP7. They could also take an eco if they wanted, but they decided against it because it was actually Olivia and STK, obviously, who unfortunately were quite short on money in comparison to everyone else after buying up the M4s in the previous round. So they're going to get what they can. They have a Scout, an MP7, 3 M4s, and with how many nades as well are available, is actually a much, much better buy than what they had in that previous round. So they do have an opportunity to try and bounce back.
The Scout doesn't really play as much of a role on Inferno, and I think this is one of the first times I've seen it used towards Banana. Generally, that player is going to take early mid presence. Success not found, tagged up early on, and forced back. Play over towards Coffins, presumably. You're going to want the head peek with 55 HP. ViCi wanted to move forward. That smoke, though, you can see the immediate reaction. They decide they're not going to push long. Not through a smoke, it's just a little bit too risky. And also, they now know that there's a Scout and an SMG towards that B site, that both weaker weapons are in play, or at least, obviously they don't know the other players of M4s necessarily, but they're finding out Olivia does, immediately taking them down as well, though. This is a hard decision for ViCi to make. I think I'd prefer them to go towards B because they know there's weak weapons there, but at the same time, they've just found the opening A. Maybe there's weak weapons in play there. No, they're making the right call, though.
Nades-wise, a single flash on that B-bomb site. This isn't looking too good. As you said, made the right call in terms of heading towards the weaker weaponry. The Scout, though, is still going to be connecting some damage. They're trying to push into the spawn. It actually is going to be 2 kills on the MP7. Advent doing what he can as he gets the double kill for himself there to go ahead and recover and give them the room just about to get that bomb planted. Time was becoming a little bit awkward. But as you can see, even with the bomb going down, Advent was tagged up so heavily by the Scout that it is really going to fall mostly towards Omen to try and actually hold this one down now on the afterplant. Advent going to be the first line of contact, though, and it's just not expected. Playing the headshot angle there around the fountain, gets the first kill, and also manages to do so much damage. And while Omen haven't actually creeped in towards the CT spawn, that is just not a position that was expected. The bomb was, of course, planted for that area, I believe, but KNTZ, he was presuming that final player be working in from Banana, and he was incorrect. So that is a second round for ViCi, as they do, of course, now force Beyond down onto an eco.
Getting back into it on the T side of Inferno so early on is definitely a little boost to confidence. For ViCi, not that they need it at all. They're just looking there, obviously myself and Dean just been having a little bit of a chat with the admins. I say obviously, but obviously to you, Dean, because you were there. So our next game isn't going to be going ahead at least on time, as we found out. The BTRG are involved in a different tournament, which has been some complications. So, but they won't be forfeiting it. If you're a BTRG fan, you're waiting here for that game. Don't worry. It'll go on later, maybe later today. We're sorting at times. Obviously, need to communicate with teams and figure it out. So we should have a little bit of a break after this one. Be back later on. So there's no rush for ViCi or Beyond to close this one out. We can see a 3-mapper, a nice long series, nice competitive one. But honestly, Dean, it feels like with the momentum built up for ViCi this early into Inferno, I'm heavily in their court on this side.
Yeah, I've got to agree. As we said, even statistically, the map is quite strong for ViCi. They haven't lost it in the last month. They've picked up quite a few very convincing victories. On the other hand, Beyond, they've played it a few times. I don't think they've really had too much success on it. I think, I'm trying to remember, I believe their one win was over Lucid Dream. And other than that, of course, they did, I believe, lose it to ViCi once, lose it to the likes of Tylo as well. So it's not like it's bad teams they're playing against or anything. But overall, ViCi definitely the favorite team, especially after coming through off the back of stealing away Beyond's map pick so convincingly, and then of course being able to recover here as soon as they got the guns into their hands. It's got to be a little bit demoralizing for Beyond and a little bit intimidating. But yeah, the weapons, of course, being available, the AWP, the rifles, everything here for Beyond. A few weaknesses for sure, but they're going to have to try and hold down the push either way. And despite SDK getting one frag alongside the Dink, his teammates on the bomb site find 0. So this one's already done. Those 2B players have gone ahead and repositioned back on the bomb site and have just pretended the rotation that they begun never happened.
Need to see Beyond answer back sooner than this. Putting ViCi on 4 rounds. I'm very close to a 5th, realistically, with the investment the CTs will have. I fear for them. That early choice as well, you really saw the impact of taking, was it 5 SMGs out? MP9s and an MP7?
Yeah, it was 4 MP9s and an MP7, yeah, in the second round.
You don't want that, really. It's just not an invest. Like, if you guys are playing at home, you're playing in a team in a local tournament, something like that, don't do it. Make sure you get your rifles. There's risk reward.
Maximum. Even then,
Yeah.
I think it's usually a bit too much. Normally 2. Maybe a couple weaker rifles so that you can get the extra few nades, then a couple SMGs to get the full nades, and then perhaps an M4.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of
Basically, whatever you walk into round 2 with, you're gonna face the full buy on round 3 with. And if
unless
you
you're losing players forcing you to reinvest, which you also don't
True.
want, because then you just have no money.
Yeah, ideally that second round should be clean. If the T's got a bomb plant, things will spiral out of control, just like they are in this round. And Op bought up. Olivia has that, working around with it. Obviously carried forward, I should say, not bought up. And they find 2 opening duels for 1. That's one of the best rounds we've seen from Beyond versus a full buy so far. And they've got plenty more in the tank. May rolls up close with a CZ, swings, not good for the kill, but a sneaky play from Olivia. Already made it around towards Coffin's. Good shot. Oh, just about able to make it around the corner as well with 6 HP remaining. The man advantage is just that. It's a man advantage to work with. And ViCi, honestly, they've got to be worried. Oh my god, Olivia standing so close to that Molotov with 6 HP. The balls on that man.
Yeah, I think he realized it was a bit risky. Even gets the leg shot as Zoking goes forward. That helps out, especially with one of his teammates still being stuck towards the Deagle, and with that being the man that moves in through construction as well. But the shot cannot be connected. Zoking is too quick, as is Jam Young. And ViCi, they are able to go ahead and recover that in the end. Getting way too close, obviously. But to be fair, Beyond, they had a good plan, obviously. It was a bit crazy. They just went down mid, nothing too strategical. But considering they only had those saved, the saved op and a saved rifle as well, I believe, they, of course, weren't really expecting too much, so they needed to get something early on in the round, and they unfortunately just weren't able to capitalize on it and turn it into a round win. But they are back on the full buy. Oh, hang on, we're getting a stop in. Yeah, I was about to say QQ hasn't bought up, then I looked down at the chat and there was a few stops called for. One is timed out, so unfortunately QQ is gone. Hopefully he won't be too long returning, and of course at that point just a quick medic, I would imagine, being needed. Has it not stopped?
No, so I don't see it in the...
They're saying not live anyway.
Yeah, no, well, look, the game will definitely be restored to this point. But as of right now, from what I see in the Discord, maybe you can check as well, Dean, in case I'm being big dumb, but it looks like the game hasn't actually been technically timed out just yet. Once again,
I don't think so, no.
Before Twitch chat spams start, they surely will not play this round out. It should be reset. They're saying not live.
They're asking for it to be... Both teams are asking for it to be redone. Re-round is what they're calling it. Re-round. Both teams called it re-round.
Oh, we didn't get a message in the admin chat for this, but it's worked out. Okay, fair enough. I was presuming we would have an extended.
Is called.
There is a pause right now, though.
Called. Okay.
There's a technical pause right now. So, I don't know why we're not getting a notification that that's on. I just presumed it was going to be a very much extended...
We're not important enough.
Clearly. Nobody loves this team. Plenty of Invictus versus Tildu notifications in chat, which of course is going on. at the moment over on the B stream. An Avant versus Order on A with Jane Dwag, Tom and Blau on the B. At 5-2. We're rolling on ahead. Things are looking good. I'm gonna just quickly hit the admin stuff. I think our chat bot might be broken, so we can notify to that stuff. STK's being notified he's not welcome here.
Yeah, the chat bot certainly would be handy, but so would opening kills for Beyond, so would rounds for Beyond. And that is not looking too likely right now at this point already, with the opening kill being found. And I'm surprised Mayrold's continued peeking right there after getting blinded. The wallbang follow-up. Guess they're able to tag down QQ, as well as, of course, extending the advantage that that ViCi already had rather into this round over Beyond. As the reface yet again, that's B completely open. Surely they don't expect no one else here, considering QQ is so willing to peek that alone while already being low health. They've got to think there must be another player around that B side of the map. And perhaps now with that kill in the apartments, they might commit to A. We are seeing a bit being thrown in towards B. Yeah, now they've spotted the op, I guess, on the long corner. So the bomb will be recovered and just sprinted to that B-bomb site. If, of course, Olivia doesn't fall beforehand, because they are trying to hunt them down. They need to ensure they don't give this away. A second being found. Low health on towards Jamyoung, and there is Advent pushed up in the spawn right now. I believe the footsteps have been heard, but Olivia taking damage. He won't live too much longer. There it is, 6 for ViCi. As another gun round is going to falter for Beyond. They're looking at an eco yet again.
You know, the kind of guys that coming into this one just can't get rifles in their hands successfully. That's the problem. You know, like when you're rocking in over on the Beyond side, you've got yourself the second round with full SMGs, you're taking damage, then you're reinvesting, you're getting wrecked in round 3, and ViCi just dominate you from that point forward. Well, it's hard to have any faith in the CT side. And one of the positives that we're seeing at the moment, I mean, even just take a look at how the kills have been going. Olivia, again, you can always rely on them turning up on the AWP, but for everybody else, it's just not there. Kaze played insane on Train, but I don't think we'll see the same Kaze here. Just offers on Inferno in general, especially T side, don't get on too well. They know KNTZ is left side. They've spotted one right. That fade back actually gets around the corner, and even a duel afterwards going his way. ViCi committing very heavily towards punching a pistol.
Yeah, and in the end, paying for it. Having to toss that AK away, just wanting to ensure no one's going to be able to get a better weapon, at least on the CT side. Leave them limited to the pistols that they're currently on. But again, it is one of these weaker buys where we see Beyond having the strong start for themselves, and able to actually find the opening and make that the openings now, because Olivia is going ahead and found another around mid. Did stick around and tried to actually retrieve the weapon, and just didn't quite expect Kaze to be up close. But look at this from Elman, ready for the B aggression. Finds both of those defenders and has completely opened up a side of the map now. The bomb sprinted back across up Banana, and with plenty of time to get planted, as Beyond haven't even begun their rotation. Still, of course, being cautious about a player lurking around mid, which is the case for Jamyoung. But he's in towards the apartment, so not quite going to be spotted as they just check out mid itself and also the boiler. And really, it's just the save that has to be called for right now.
Yep, again, forced into this position where they can't do anything. But at least getting a lot done in the round itself. The damage was great. If they manage to save this AK as well, that's a huge positive. Don't doubt they'll be happy with this performance. Jamyoung is starting to come out of apartments though, and it looks like that fight is going to go down between himself and STK. It is indeed, despite Autodirector not wanting us to see it, but I switched back in time to see STK doming Jamyoung, confirming the AK saved. And although KNTZ cannot get over to pick up that op, at least they managed to, or the AK rather, at least they managed to carry one forward. An op bought up as well, my subconscious was alluding to, dropped to Olivia, and leaving into a fairly decent buy for Beyond. If they don't make it work here, I think they can pretty much kiss their chances goodbye.
Yeah, I'd agree. A double up setup, you love it. But CT side of Inferno, not where you see that too often. Of course, it can be extremely useful, but I would imagine for it to be as strong as you would want it to be, they do really want to try and get that banana control early on, and then perhaps just allow one of those ups to hold it a little bit more aggressively so that they can actually stack up around A. Obviously, a fairly common setup. I'm not inventing new strategies here. You see it pretty much every single game. It's when you don't that you get a bit more curious, because it is kind of tried and trusted. Let's see if that's going to be the approach. For now, just the standard 2 players over towards that B side of the map. And they're not really looking to peek too aggressively either. Instead, just having QQ up on the corner. He'll look to take one shot, fade away, do the same. And hope to be able to find those advantages early on for Beyond, which again, they've been successful of quite a few times. They just haven't been able to close them out as of yet. And QQ, around sandbags with the op, was a very interesting position. He ends up getting tagged up heavily. Fortunately, he is able to fall back away. And that nade, alongside, of course, the Molotov that was initially thrown in by Mayrolls to force them back into that corner. That was fantastic.
Oh no, QQ missing the shot. And that second op now on the floor. Beyond lose control of the B site, the bomb being planted, and that is devastating. They had a decent setup there, but it all relied on QQ finding a kill and getting away. But unfortunately, neither of those things happen.
Yeah, it was just strange that he was so wide, so committed to that angle. Like I said, he just couldn't get away. A frag being found back on long, dealing with the lurker, but unfortunately his teammates on the B side of the map aren't really finding openings, and he's already had KNTZ come back and join him over towards that A bomb site, so you can see the save clearly is the aim, and then in the end end up actually losing one more player. They're trying to escape back through construction. Fortunately, with 3 players surviving and full loss bonus, they can still drop over to 2 weapons that they need for a full buy, but it's already 8 on the board for ViCi. They end up losing one more player, but look at their economy. I don't think they're going to be crying over that. It would be unnecessary because they are balling completely. I'm not going to be worrying about the economy anytime soon. It's going to have to be Beyond taking 3 or 4 rounds before they put a dent into it. Probably 3. And by that point, obviously, a bit of loss bonus being built up for ViCi would allow them to keep buying pretty easily if they can get those bomb plants.
Yeah, there's no situation in which ViCi really struggle for money, or at least to an extent that it has any impact on the game. The scoreline is... Oh, Olivia, come on! That's 2 times in a row now, and Op's been caught out of position. An opening duel.
They went 3B as well.
Yeah, the stack on B 100% is going to harm them because it's only STK to hold down. Like 2 times in a row, and AWP is the one to lose the opening duel, caught out of position, either missing a shot or just having no idea where they are. Confused. And this is just dominant from ViCi. They've won this round quite easily. Beyond need an insane comeback. Running into Kaze with the AWP is not the way to go. And so KNTZ finds out the way to go is towards B. He's going to carry that AK through to the next round. He can drop a teammate. But really, I couldn't care less. Beyond could have 16k in the bank. This is a terrible half for them. And if they can't make it work when they have these full buys, when they're pulling out double op setups to try and make it a little bit different there, where are they going to make it work?
I don't know. This is just... They're getting wrecked, as you said. The second time that an opper has been, unfortunately, kind of caught out of position. Previously, it was a much wider holdover towards B. This time, Olivia on towards short, just as he begins to back away, gets caught and gets destroyed. And at that point, as you said, with SDK pinned in the pit, with the long wrap coming in, there just wasn't anything that he could do about that. The round was already done. 9-2 for ViCi. They continue to just stomp their way through this best of 3, making it look simple so far. As, this is not the Beyond that we got to see yesterday up against Lucid Dream at all. Again, 3 towards the B side of things. Looks like they might actually find a bit of a challenge around Banana though this time, rather than it just being a straight up A rush. Although there is a few players, including the bomb, working pretty quickly over towards the apartments.
Yeah, the second you say it, ViCi decide, let's do the opposite of what Dean said. Move in towards A. They did look like they were going to take some Banana control, but something scared them away. As they come out, hello! Rubbing shoulders. He literally just tapped STK. Him a
He
little
was
bit
like,
of
yo,
a poke.
Zoking, you get him up close. I'll keep going.
I'm not even worried about you, bro. I'm gonna let the guy
Mark him
behind
for
me
you.
deal with you. Yeah.
Stuck a sign on his back as he went past.
Poked him in the eyes so he couldn't. You think that's a flashbang? He actually got poked in the eyes, and then the guy just kept running. That's a 5v4 beyond locked out. And look at all the smokes, all the flashes. See, the benefit of ViCi going in so quickly is that they've loaded utility left. They haven't, scrambled in for banana control, used up flashes, used up smoke snow. So they have everything. And Beyond realized that because those smokes started to come down. Flashes came over, and then the CT side went, yeah, let's just get out of here. Like, we're not going to win this retake. And so they carry weapons forward to the next round where they'll also probably do nothing with them.
Yeah, they've saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rounds so far. Out of the last 10, that is. So that's been an impressive stat.
Usually, there's lots of different strategies in Counter-Strike. This one actually vibes with me a lot. It reminds me of my approach to life. It's called a procrastination strategy. So rather than actually do anything in a round, you go, next one. Like when my girlfriend asked me to do the Hoover, and it's like, tomorrow. I'll clean the place tomorrow.
It makes sense to go for the save, but I feel like eventually you just have to say screw this and just try and the brute force approach of just going for some of those retakes. Because we were seeing moments on the previous map, at least, where Beyond were getting close and they were keeping up somewhat on an individual level. Just right now they're being kind of wiped away here on Inferno, really, not being able to do anything, no matter which side of the map they're tested on, no matter what setup they're trying, as they have been attempting to switch it up quite frequently. It just hasn't been working. This time it is coming back over towards Banana. We haven't seen the challenge here in a couple of rounds, so let's see if they can be a bit more successful. And there we go. Mayrolls finds 3, drops the bomb. It's actually only 2. We got a bit of help from QQ, who looks like he wants to end it as well. There we go. Following up onto Kaze up close on Banana. A flawless round from Beyond. That is much, much better. Can they keep this up, though, to try and recover up to 5 rounds is the question. Who knows? But they're going to be going up against full gun rounds in both of them. That's something that we do definitely know.
I'd just like to take this moment to say you're welcome to Beyond for helping them out in that round. Of course, I cursed them by saying they were going to do nothing with the rifles, which is when the other team then destroys them. Makes sense. But how much?
How it goes, Mitch.
Oh yeah, 100%. You're like, oh yeah, they won't do anything this round. Oh, they've aced with the USP? Of course they have.
You're like, it's a full eco, it's only Glocks, then alright then, that has happened. That's how it normally goes. Oh god. It's been an interesting experience so far here from the CTs, but as I said, they do need 5 if they want any opportunity of having the ability to start clawing their way back into this series. Not only did they need to get the victory here on Inferno, of course a map 3 would still be needed.
I love those flashes over the roof. But what I don't love is how slow ViCi went afterwards. You can get a lot more progress than that off that flashbang.
They got blinded by a second flash. I'm not sure if it was in return from Beyond.
Oh, ho, 9 HP. One thing I'll say, I've seen this used a couple of times. I think in NACS more so. Excuse me. That wall bang by Kaze, that the opper lines that up and someone throws a frag grenade through at that exact moment, because you're more than likely going to light them down to like 20, 30 HP at a minimum, and then when that nade comes through, it usually kills them. So that's a nice combination you can do. If your buddy's in opper and you've got a frag grenade, go on down to Banana. QQ has not had success with the AWP towards B in this kind of position over towards the left side and flipping the angle a little bit, which does help him out. Smoke goes in, he gets blind and immediately dead. Yes, I could almost see it coming, but I couldn't see that. Mayrolls with a double, repositions towards CT, but there was a gap in the smoke, and unfortunately Alma knew about it. That was a no-scope. Olivia down to 16 health, legged, luckily. That is madness.
Yeah, that is madness. It follows up with a no-scope through smoke, just making this retake even more difficult now for the CTs. Obviously, it is the up for Olivia, so he can still have some impact, but he's going to have to allow those rifles to move in first to try and get those openings, which SDK will be successful with. Kaze in the back of the bomb site, though, now being the last man standing, but the time's beginning to run low, both of them being low health, but Olivia, he will be there for the trade. Plenty of time for the defuse, of course, with that kit available. As it is 4 for Beyond, despite that fantastic no-scope being hit through the smoke in the end, Olivia's able to recover from it and still win out the round. Yeah, I mean, 4, as I said, if they do pull it back to 5, suddenly it's possible as long as they can get off to a good start in the second half. But again, the economy just isn't an issue for ViCi, so they do have another full buy here. Everything they could ask for into the final round and a half.
It was actually disgusting from Olivia, though. I just watched it back as well. So quick. Like, he was like, YOLO. Maybe there's someone close to the smoke. Gets him all the way down in CT. 1 round left to go. ViCi looking for their 11. Beyond, I mean, they're still in a rough spot, but it's looking good, actually, now that they'll connect 5. Great opening tools. Yes, SDK got caught out, but at least they're able to reset after that. And TZ not getting challenged. Alman could catch him on the crossover, though. Does indeed. Oh, they line up. Olivia having a great time with the AWP now. Answering back with a second and bringing him into 3 for the round. Kaze last alive. And a 1v4, a 1v3 4K. This big clutch that he needs. Smoke's a little bit deep. Yeah, see, that's the problem. You're allowing them to swing one after another. A boost up to finish him. Nicely handled. That's 10-5 at the halftime. ViCi in a significant lead moving on to their defensive side of their map pick, but perhaps a glimmer of hope from beyond with those last couple of rounds picked up. We're going to take a quick break, though, before we go into half 2, so we'll be back very soon with all the action. We'll see you real soon.
Sarah, I hurt myself today trying to make the pain go away. Sarah, I want to fade away, be with the stars in outer space.
You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Couldn't fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain.
Sarah, I lost myself today trying to find ways to make you stay. Sarah, I want to go away, close my eyes, never wake up again.
You come and you go. You take me high, you take me low. But I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. Oh no, now it's my leave for the melancholy. Couldn't fill a hole inside me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Now it's Xannies till I numb my psyche. Cocaine just to feel my heartbeat. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Sarah.
Welcome back, folks. We're going live with the pistol round here in half number 2. As ViCi rock on in with 10 rounds on the board. Their attacking side has been overly successful. And if they can find 6 on the defense, they will take the map and the series beyond. Desperately trying to get some control, and oh, it's not going well for them to start this off. Jam Young going out for a little bit more. He's got KNTZ with him, and that looks like it's going to be a shutdown. Olivia almost pulls it back, though. Really nice attempt in the 1vx, but unfortunately couldn't find it. 11 for ViCi. And the worst part about that, Dean, is really beyond needed a bomb plant there to get in and compete for this. Otherwise, as they've ended up with none, it will be an eco, and so most likely a 12th round for ViCi.
Yeah, and if the first gun round at that point then doesn't go in favor of the beyond the players, then I think the victory is going to be beyond belief, Mitch.
I think that's a fair that's a fair pun this time, Dean. I'll let you away with that one.
I remember there used to be a show when I was younger called Beyond Belief Factor Fiction. Did you ever watch that? Basically, they'd tell stories and recreate them, and some of them would be real and some would be fake, and you'd have to guess throughout the entire show, and they'd only tell you at the end. So it was like a fun little experience with the family.
I think I did, actually. I think I saw that. I don't remember the name, but I remember the concept.
It just reminded me of it there. Something I'd forgot about. But yeah, this one's only an eco anyway from Beyond. So we're as you said, not expecting anything here. Should be 12 for ViCi. They shouldn't be struggling with it. Shouldn't. Emphasis. Because sometimes they do. They just be like that. Don't cook bombs. That's dangerous. Okay, it's good. He can't throw it correctly.
At least that's not a skill that's usually requisite of pro players, you know. He must be able to throw the bomb exactly in a pan. Oh no, you're dead.
That should be how you practice it for tossing across. Dust 2 on long. On long on Dust 2 rather. Wrong way around. Words. God damn it. This is a big opportunity for the operative to build up money here on long. Again, more SMGs than we'd like. And now they've actually lost the one FAMAS that they had. Should be retrieved quite easily. And actually, Kaze building up lots of money there, getting himself a 3k. Where's the FAMAS? There it is. I couldn't even see it. It was under the body. It was on the couch, I believe. 12 to 5. One casualty. It will actually allow for them to rebuy the op as well. The fact that the FAMAS had to be retrieved and dropped over by Kaze. So in the end, that one kill kind of helps them out, but obviously means if they are to lose this round, Kaze wouldn't be able to buy in the next round, and Zoking also would be quite low on money. So an opportunity for Beyond if they get this opening gun round to start trying to build their way back in with a couple.
Okay, here we go. Kaze opening it up towards middle. QQ's just not had a good time when it comes to opening duels. Again, I don't have the stats open, but I can tell you it's pretty negative at this point. Running towards B as well. You definitely don't want that, but a return. Oh, hello, Beyond. They've made it back in towards this A bomb site, and ViCi had 3 players towards B. So with that, the round pretty much falls apart for them. Beyond should be walking away with this win. The nade for both teams does superficial damage, really. Oh, they're going to go for this. Splitting in with the SMGs. Head being angle for KNTZ, though, and he just rips them apart with a 3k. Really nicely done.
Destruction right there on the angle. Yeah, only heads being spotted. I would have whiffed the first one and then died. So it's good to see some players are better than me, if not most.
Can confirm that
6
statement.
in the difference. Yeah, I mean, you're in a glass house there, Mitch. You gotta be careful of yourself. I think the last day you were arguing with someone in chat and he called you out on your elo. That was hilarious.
Yeah, what the hell was that, bro?
Gotta get that elo up.
Like, look at my HLTV rating, bro. Fight me. What? Flawless 1v1s versus major finalists. That's all I'm saying.
Look at this force, though. A shotgun, couple pistols, couple M4s. It shows, of course, that small bit of damage in that round before. It did really impact this investment. Mayrolls has been fantastic for Beyond so far in this map. And it kind of a resurgence in form of what we needed to see from him. He only has 8 kills, but I feel like they've all had so much impact. Obviously, he's had a couple 3Ks, especially around that B side of the map. So I guess other than that, he hasn't done all that much at all.
It's an interesting position from Kaze with the auto. Expect him in towards the apartments, up on balcony, something like that, but instead he's just sat down on the site with it eventually making a longer rotate. It looks like ViCi are unsure where they want to stack up. I'm deciding on a 2-2 setup, and around like this I don't expect a lot of success from them. As Beyond have just got the numbers advantage, the weaponry advantage, everything goes their way. M4 is at least towards this site though, so an opportunity for Jan Young goes out with one. Then he's just firing, squatted out. Let's see what Kaze can do. Auto shotgun in hand. The XM finds one. The rotate as well from Advent. He gets shut down, but up behind, Omen's good for one. The auto shotgun tries to finish it, but can't. And with Omen only on 19 health, he has got a rough clutch ahead of him. 10 seconds left. They've got to plant the bomb. Omen, I thought he was going to round that corner, but his back turned. Oh, the time. 3 seconds. 2. And he goes around just in time. And the last bullet connecting before one can even leave Olivia's gun. The defuse comes in. And that is 13 for ViCi. My God, it came close, though.
Which you were watching that from Olivia's perspective?
No, from Almon's.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that was crazy. A few shots being missed. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get that one shot off that was needed with the AK, but it was so close. Beyond just couldn't afford to lose that round. They ended up dropping it up against the weaker weapons. The Spy actually doing a pretty decent job initially at trading on towards that A bomb site. It just crumbled, and now they're left with an alright buy to actually pretty much keep themselves in the series right now. Ooh, looking like a quick A play. I guess not wanting to dilly-dally, just going straight towards that A-bomb site, getting blinded as they move out mid, and unfortunately for QQ, ending up at his back to Zoking, and he just keeps on going with that FAMAS, finding 3 before he eventually falls. And of course, leaving ViCi in the 3-on-2, a position where they're happy with the advantage they have, despite having lost that A-bomb site itself.
Well, ViCi being able to pull that one out of the bag, really, that's beyond with their heads dipped. I like Kaze's approach as well to stay super passive, not going up aggressively around the smokes, not even looking for a gap, instead allowing his teammates to rotate. They know the last player is probably around pit. The nade goes through. That's going to catch him on the retreat. But Kaze takes him down first. The defuse. Alman wants it. Just rushes in to nick it. That is 14 rounds now. Kaze bringing him over an AK. What a nice guy. Yeah, ViCi have got this one in the bag, really, Dean. It would require a miracle for Beyond to get back in at this point. And
pretty much.
I feel like when you get to 11 rounds or 10 rounds, it hit double digits on the CT side and then win the pistol. The chances of you losing, I'd love to see some stats, but I'd imagine 90% of the time you win that game.
Yeah, most likely. I would say the few times it doesn't is when a team is able to win out the force buy-in and just kind of get their own stump, which is possible. But yeah, as you said, if you lose that pistol and you aren't able to at least bounce back with the force buy, then yeah, usually it is going to be pretty much over. Even if you get the first gun round, as we see in here, then there's just so much to work for with really no room to falter at all. If you drop around, then you end up being in a position like we've seen Beyond in the previous. And even in this one now, where they just can't afford to eco because ViCi are already on 14. They pull out what they can. It's 2 MAC-10s, a Galil, a couple AKs, and a nade that lands on 4 of them. That is a bit unfortunate. Olivia gets away in a decent enough position, but for the rest of them, even Mayrold's being down on 82, obviously making it quite a bit easier for those M4s and the FAMAS.
Still not as bad as what we saw from Big in this qualifier in EU just the other day, maybe 3 or 4 days ago with Tinko, I think it was, where Big had 1,400 damage with nades. Their banana play was insane. And they weren't killing people, but they were lighting them to like 10 HP on 3 players every round. It's ridiculous. I've never seen so much done with just grenades in my life. In this round, things are going very poorly for Beyond. They just got sprayed down in banana. They've lost SDK solo towards the A side on short, and as Olivia desperately tries to recover it, Auto Director just tries to shield our eyes. Doesn't want us to see, but we swap back to see Olivia playing with death. Doesn't want to fully extend around that corner, knowing the op is likely posted on the angle. And And a wise choice in that sense. A couple 1v1s being offered up, but that is just great support utility. Alman with the flash from bottom mid to allow Jam Young's peek. And that's the kind of thing, we just see ViCi playing on a different level of Counter-Strike to Beyond. I remember saying yesterday, Dean, you'll remember in the Beyond game that we saw, there was something like 76 or 75 flashbangs, enemies flashed overall, with a total of 8 flash assists. And, no, it was actually the point where it was 75, I think it was 5 flash assists. So the utility was being used so inefficiently.
I remember that, yeah, and they had only got 3 of them in the round before you said that stat.
Yeah, it was pretty insane overall.
It was indeed. They haven't really had a chance to do much with their flashes here in this one either, to be fair. It has been fantastic, though, from ViCi. Their enemies flashed, certainly outpacing what Beyond have been able to find, as you would expect with a score like this. The ADR as well, pretty consistent on everyone across the board, actually. Looking like this should be it. ViCi looking for the 16-6 finish up against probably the weakest of the last 3 buys, if we're being honest. They went for more nades, but only really now are they beginning to move forward at all over towards Banana. To be fair, Advent is alone, and he's actually going to be blocked off in the CT spawn by that smoke. It's just going to be him spamming through, actually connecting quite a bit of damage, so something they can be very happy with, but obviously he's not going to exactly know that.
Oh, that nade nicely landed. Lights up Olivia as well, making him a little bit more squishy. For Beyond, this should be a round that they win out. They should pull it through to another. Zoking's able to pick up a frag though, so I do get a little bit worried. Another for Advent. Oh no, Beyond need to step it up now. Olivia able to actually sit behind Jam Young, taking the frags one after another. And it's all down to Omen. He is coming behind. He's got the flank on. Olivia, though, even catches him around the smoke. Great round by Olivia. Just about keeping Beyond alive in this series.
Yeah, it's just fantastic work there, of course, but it's just still such a long road ahead of them that you do have to still find it difficult to believe. But to be fair, ViCi are going for a force buy here, so if they're able to overcome this force buy, suddenly they're up against an eco at that point, likely looking at 9 rounds already, and then there's maybe 3 or 4 gun rounds between them and an overtime. So at that point, they could begin to look a little bit more likely, but just with how dominant it has been so far from ViCi, and with the fact that we haven't really seen too many rounds being chained together from Beyond, they were able to get the 2 initial rounds and then the final 3 of that previous half. But then if you go back to the previous map, of course, there was kind of only 1 string of rounds they were successful in getting as well. So they've never gotten more than 3 rounds in a row in this series so far.
Well, we'll see if they can break the chain. Right now, this kind of buy paid off for ViCi before, but it was with 2 rifles as well, doing quite a bit of damage. I don't imagine that we'll see the same from a 4-man stack towards A that's being challenged, but look, in comes Zoking, rotating towards the B bomb site. Jam Young with the deagle, able to follow to 1 kill. Can he get a second? No. And Kaze, they fell to this before. They know what they're up against. Surely Zoking able to pick 1. There's the auto shotgun coming through. Surely not like this for Beyond. The range a little bit too challenging for the XM, but they've got to get to the site. At the moment, Kaze can play around. He could play around the default plan. Problem is he thinks there could still be a player towards Graveyard. Lit up with the headshot. Advent into a 1v2. Look, this is definitely winnable. No head armor in play. So QQ is dangerous with that Mach 10 and luckily able to connect it because there was only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, not even needing the headshot, instead just jumping and spraying and managing to get himself that final kill. So yeah, the force buy doesn't work out for ViCi. As I said, Beyond likely to go up to 9 now because of that, as it is going to have to be a full-on eco this time from ViCi. Not even any pistols really can afford to be upgraded apart from maybe 1 or 2 players, but even then you don't want to. I was going to say Kaze definitely wants to ensure he gets the op in play, but no, he's going to pull out the deagle. It's Zeus for Advent, so that is it. I was going to say, I realized Zoking has bought a P250, so I'm lying. Apologies. Fake news. failed nade. A little bit unfortunate from SDK. Thankfully, doesn't do any team damage. But yeah, this round again, not much expected of ViCi. If they can get 1 or 2 kills, perhaps they could actually limit the buy somewhat in this following round and beyond. It just ensure that they're not going to be having all the nades and such that they could want. So that could certainly make this worthwhile and could keep it in a pretty awkward spot for beyond. Then going up against the guns once again. The Zeus actually is hit, but it's not able to find the kill, a little bit too far away.
Unfortunate, Dean. We'd love to see the Zeuses coming through. What's the plural of Zeus? I don't know if they even have one because it's a name, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Zeus's? Zai? Suai?
Maybe just
I don't know.
a bunch of Zeus.
Yeah. What's like the plural of FAMAS is FAMAS.
Yeah, it's just Zeus as well.
It always sounds very weird when you're like, oh, look at all those FAMAS.
Masses. Can't say a bad word that way.
Whoa, whoa. Now this is a cleanup as expected, Dean. Nothing connected for poor old ViCi. And the thing is, you can't even build any sort of story out of this round of, oh, if ViCi can find 3 kills, then Beyond will still have money and they'll still buy because it's the final round. And
once the bomb goes down, if they could have got 3 kills and just got kind of exchange and not let the bomb get planted, then maybe they could have limited the economy on a player or 2 for just nades. But the weapons are coming out no matter what, as I said. It's only really trying to limit the small little bit extra, which isn't going to happen. All 5 players survive. So they're good now anyway. But yeah, 6 to go. Again, as I had said, the most we had seen in a row so far in the series has been 3 from Beyond. And that's what they're sitting at right now. So for to stick to the trend, in theory, that's ViCi closing the game out here in this round. But this would be the best time, obviously, for Beyond to go ahead and break that and continue working their way back into the map. And with that, potentially the series.
Now, there's definitely an opening for Beyond, but... Excuse me, 6 consecutive rounds is quite a lot to ask from a team. A team that has fallen again and again to the ViCi boys. Some insanely convincing T-side rounds. Now, though, clearly feeling much more comfortable. And it is odd, really, to see the T-side go much better. Because it is looking far cleaner than they ever looked, really, CT. But I feel like that is just because of the comfort level they get when they're able to dictate exactly how things go. Push through the smoke. Oh no, the spray from Advent only gets 1 at least, leaving SDK alive as they've overwhelmed that side, flooding in. Hello, Omen! Just rushes on through. The problem there was SDK was still looking at the back of the bomb site, clearing it out, so he didn't get flashed at all. Zokian's support, unfortunately, doesn't quite work out. Look at how low some of these guys are. I don't think it's going to really happen. There's no damage dealing utility. They've got to win duel after duel. A lot of these angles are head peek ones.
If they had a nade, the round would be done at this point. It is so unfortunate. It's still winnable, though. Kaze moving in. He doesn't expect that final player to also just be tucked in the back corner. And why would you? I mean, SDK does have a couple of kills, but they were earlier on, so he will be able to just go ahead and pop out and get himself the final kill with the back exposed. Yeah, if they had a nade there was 2 players and about 10 health in the back corner. There was another one, of course, who was challenging fairly actively. He'd been tagged down a small bit as well. And then in towards Quad, the other low health player. If they, as you said, had any sort of damage dealing utility, that would have been done already. But instead, Beyond, they're able to just about fight for it. They win out the 1-on-1 and have kept themselves in with the chance of trying to take this victory. 5 more to go. And likely 4 after this round. A few upgraded pistols, but there's really not too much bought up by ViCi. They're fully focused on this next round, realizing that they don't want to keep giving these opportunities for Beyond. They want to ensure that they have the strongest buy possible.
I respect the decision making from ViCi. They have got to be sweating at this point. Round on round. Being built up for Beyond. Now putting them onto a 4-round streak. They have indeed broken the chain we spoke about before, Dean. Getting themselves 4 consecutive rounds. Presumably 5. ViCi with pistols all over this A site, out in the open on short. Damage done to QQ and KNTZ. That's a decent start at least. Once these T's start to actually push, that's where the trouble begins. Damage that Beyond can do with these rifles is pretty nuts. And look at that, they just make a lot of noise on A, and immediately Advent is on his way towards that site, concedes B, and by the time he gets back here, there's T's already around the corner. Quick shot by QQ. He does exactly that move, making it to the bomb site to take the bomb out, get the plant, and ViCi with a pretty rough retake. I think ideally they'd get out of here with a rifle in hand, but it doesn't look like they're going to get anything from it. Olivia just doming them one after another.
Pushed up in the spawn, they continue to go forward, and Jamyoung will eventually get one, but again, doesn't matter. It's not like Beyond can afford to lose a round whether they have the economy or not, because one round and it is done. So they don't mind too much. In the end, they do even go ahead and get that final kill. So ViCi coming back onto the buy. 4 more attempts now for them to close this one out, as it has become certainly a lot closer than I think a lot of people were expecting at the point, with at one point being 15-6. So yeah, this is looking, as you said, a little bit scary for ViCi, but they have another couple chances at least to close this out. Elman's just going to go for the shotgun. He had plenty of money, so he could have got the rifle, obviously, but I guess wanting to opt for the shotgun instead to play a little bit more aggressive up here around the top of Banana. Won't be following up the aggression, but does want to remain around this area. I said he wouldn't be following up, but he actually will. He's going to have the deep smoke to go ahead and take that control, so a bit of a switch up from ViCi. Very interesting weapon.
And once Omen gets into position there, though, he can just chill out.
Two of them.
We don't need the second player. Oh my god.
He has no
That's
idea.
not what you want.
But
Yeah,
still,
but
that was crazy.
The fact that he finds a double opening there, it's just ridiculous. ViCi very far behind in this round again, and this A site going to be hit. There's still 2 players in position. The full A defense is in play. Kaze, good for 1. Jamyoung falls eventually. Oh, Kaze stuck up close with an AWP. That's never ideal. Actually manages to get back and make some space. Watching for the pit cross. This might pay off. Oh, he flicked off the angle. Obviously had to be worried about a balcony run out, but it's a shame that he held it for 1 second longer. It would have went his way.
Yeah, a nice flash comes in. It doesn't really slow down Zoking too much. He is still up close, as Beyond just didn't really want to follow up at the peak, but once they do, once Zoking begins to push in, QQ is ready for it, and Beyond, they continue to make this comeback happen. 12 rounds, 3 in the difference suddenly, Mitch. This is extremely scary for the ViCi boys, as they don't have enough to buy in this round. Pistols, Kevlar, at most. The next round instead going to be where they get that full investment once again, and at that point then, that could be their final full gun round, unless they're able to save weapons in that one if they aren't to win it out. So yeah, this is very, very scary, and the position that I didn't think we were going to be getting into. It seemed like it was pretty much all but lost for Beyond after how that first map went, especially as well with the beginning here on the second. Inferno's the one I thought as well that would be the stump for ViCi. I thought Train was going to be the one where they could perhaps struggle after what we seen from them yesterday against Paper Rex on Train.
Yeah, that was definitely what we were thinking, both of us coming into Train. But evidently, they were on form there, but now struggling on the defensive side, which is the most surprising thing. Having to literally come down to their last buy round. When they move into the next, if they lose that, it's 15-14, and then they are neck and neck for the final round. Pretty crazy that we've ended up in this position. And for Beyond, commendable comeback. They've kept themselves focused and in the game the whole time. Jamyoung throughout the smoke, knowing it would bait the player to swing on through. You find 1-for-1s on long. That's a lot of control conceded. You can see Beyond immediately move into CT to split B, but then they clear the A site, and so they stick around. Either way, it's all the duels going their way. So Omen's left alone, long range with an MP9, and this should be 15-13 for the final convincing buy round for ViCi coming up next. They lose that. We may well see an overtime.
Yeah, it is looking quite possible at this time, if we're being honest. Quite plausible that it certainly could be reaching overtime. But ViCi, they have that one last full attempt at closing things out. There's not going to be a shotgun this time for Elman either. Instead, the rifle's being pulled out on everyone. Kaze is able to get himself the op, and nades-wise, it is pretty decent as well. Only one kit, so that could be a bit of an issue if it gets kind of dropped in an area that's tough to recover. But overall, this is one of the better attempts that ViCi have had over these past few rounds. So this is where they need to do it. As we said, if they falter here, then unless weapons are saved over, they will not have a full investment in the following round.
It's now or never for ViCi. If they fail, they falter here, it's done. And Beyond most likely hit the overtime. At that point, the momentum can be built up. They can find themselves in a spot where they're genuinely confident in this series. Mirage up next. We know they're comfortable there. ViCi need to stop them. And they've looked like they were making a risky rotate towards that A-bomb site. But no, in fact, they are sticking in their current positions. This is a two-man hold on long with Zoking and Kaze. I'm smoked off at the moment. And Jam Young passively holding both short and apartments. This is risky, but they will not be punished for it. Beyond are in fact looking to move towards the B site, somewhere they haven't early hit all too frequently. The success has been on the A site. I'm surprised to see them change their strategy, but perhaps they believe this will be weaker. Good nade through to start it off though, as ViCi look to close it out. 40 seconds left, and Beyond are pushing into B.
Yeah, and looks like it's going to be around the edge of the smoke potentially as well. It is just about to fade away. No smoke currently in the hands of those players on the B side of the map to replenish it either. So yeah, the shots are just going to have to be connected now once the push does come in. And Advent being the first line of defense is going to be successful indeed. The nade gets dropped. They're just being torn apart. Despite them making it all the way back up to 13 rounds, it looks like this is going to be it for Beyond. And indeed, that is the case. Olivia gets traded out 16 to 13 in the end. What was it? 9 rounds in a row? Sorry, 7 rounds that had been taken in a row right there from Beyond. So a great attempt at the comeback, but in the end they do of course fall short, and that comes down to of course how poor of a performance they had it on that CT side initially, or rather on the CT side initially, only being able to recover really towards the end of it.
Yeah, and as well they found the pistol, right? They found the pistol CT side and ended up on 10-5 down. That's pretty depressing overall. Had they been even a slight bit better there, they could have shown up on Inferno and really beaten ViCi back. You also got to wonder how much of an issue confidence was for ViCi. They came in, won the pistol CT side. They lost the first buy round, answered back immediately and put it 5-1 in that half. And then they just lost all their steam. They were losing opening duels again and again. We saw so many issues for them, but at the end of the day, they managed to make it across the line. Now, Dean, up next, we were supposed to have BTRG versus the loser of this game. We're not 100% sure exactly what's happening. It was due to start in 45 minutes, and I think technically still is. But there's an issue with another a separate qualifier for an RMR event, which is also going on today. And BTRG apparently have a game in that, possibly the other team do as well, because it's for the Asian region. So we face a problem. We don't actually know whether the next game is going to go ahead. So for now, we're going to treat it like it's not, because more than likely it won't. But it will happen later on. So BTRG versus Beyond should be on in the later stages of today, after 4 p.m. CEST, somewhere around there. If you want to keep up with what's going on and when that one's going live, you can drop a follow on this channel. It might also be on the main channel. We're not too sure, because it depends on exactly when it is, whether there's availability. But you can definitely find out over at myself and Dean's Twitters. We'll be tweeting out when it goes live. !casters in chat should give you a link to that. And as I said, we'll be tweeting a little bit later on when we know exactly what's happening with that game. For now, though, it's time to throw it to a break and throw it to a close, I guess, for the day. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon if you're around for the BTRG Beyond game. Have a great day.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
They say they wanna party with us, 12X, and how much be that boofy, it's a la. My feature price bigger than your bank account. You talk about it, but don't show us that about. These boys only flexing with that allowance. We swimming in the shower. I'm only f***ing you if your toes cute. Brown skin, goddamn, that's my soul food. I'm winning for the record, check your memo, bro. Generation of destruction, you'll remember us. LSD, you